think this is all good. Let's make sure. Yes, okay. Welcome everyone. Scrambleking here. I can breathe, don't worry. We are doing some AI dungeon generator. I believe this is essentially a AI program to run kind of like the dungeon master in a video game. So, our setting is going to be fantasy. I find that to be a very nice default. We're going to go in as a ranger. And the character's name, simply Scramble. It's now generating the story. You are Scramble, ranger living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a hunting bow and a quiver of arrows. You've been searching for a mythical beast for 3 months, tracking it through the forest. As you crouch behind a clump of trees, you see it, Griffin. A large silver and blue creature with red eyes. Its wings stretch out about 20 feet. Draw your bow and arrow. We're going to observe its weak points. Observe its weak points. You move in closer, trying to get the drop on the griffin. You step behind a large rock and line up your shot. The griffin sees you and cocks its head to the side, looking at you. Well, we've lost our chance at sneak attack. I was hoping to just observe and shoot it somewhere where it was weak, but I'm gonna lower my bow because I'm fairly sure in a 1v1, Griffin comes out on top. Lower your bow. That's not what I said. You shoot your arrow at the Griffin's flank. The Griffin swipes its claw and your arrow disappears into its flesh. It swipes its claw again, and you fall to the ground. I was hoping to just put down my bow and, be peaceful. But it looks like we're in a fight. Let's see. I'm going to grab an arrow and use it to stab the... Grab an arrow and use it to stab the griffin. You are on your knees trying to get your second arrow ready when the griffin grabs you in its talons and bites you in half. Oh, okay, we're already dead. Dude, I guess we just die. You had a 69% chance of winning that battle. You raise from the grave as another hero, but not as a hero to the people of Larian. Oh, okay. Observe my form. You look around at the graveyard. A chill goes through you, and a voice whispers to you that it will be nice to return to the... Alive again? You become alive again. You return to your hometown of Larian. You have trained your entire life to be a ranger. You are now a full-fledged member of the Rangers. Well, what now? I guess this is us returning to life. Alright, train a ranger apprentice. Your parents were against it. They always wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer, and your teachers were against you becoming a ranger. They said it was too dangerous. I'm already a ranger, though. What if I just say talk to my apprentice? Okay, we're going to try again because I'm not sure. Uh, oh, retry is the current one you're on. Okay. I will keep that in mind. How do I restart? I? Oh. Uh, that's not what I meant. Just click we. No, world info. Okay. Oh, back. Quick start again. I'm also going to change something over in Discord so that it's all already bound. Okay, so it's just if I hit E. Got it. Back to this then. Well, this time, let's see if zombies are any better. We are going to be a soldier. Your character's name. Scramble. Generating story. You are Scramble, a soldier trying to survive in a world filled with infected zombies everywhere. You have an automatic rifle and a grenade. Your unit lost a lot of men when the infection broke, but you've managed to keep the small town you're stationed near safe for now. You look over the town and think to yourself that you could probably hold out here for a while. But the military has come up with a plan to eliminate the zombie threat once and for all. Join the military or hold out here. Let's... I'm going to... Yeah, hold out here. Choose to hold out here. You look over at your lieutenant, a man named Gary G. Most soldiers probably wouldn't like that too much, but the zombie apocalypse has made everyone a little strange. Gary G. Let's retry that again. I retry that again. Maybe this isn't as good as I thought. Okay, let's try this again. Scrap. Generating story. Zombie trying to survive in a world infected with zombies. You have an automatic rifle and a grenade. Your unit lost a lot of men when the infection broke out, but you've managed to keep the small town you're stationed near safe for now. You look over the town and think to yourself that it would be a nice place to settle down. The houses are all well kept. Most of the people seem content, and best of all, there aren't any zombies to worry about. So we're in a zombie apocalypse without any zombies. Interesting. Let's get the rest of the soldiers to build walls with. Should probably specify harder. Build walls around the town with. You call for all of the survivors you can find. About 50 of them show up, bring a little more order to the place. But you can all see that this is just the calm before the storm. The survivors build the wall. Or I guess ask the survivors to gather materials to build a wall. Can we do it? Talk to the survivors in town and try to gather enough wood and stone to build a wall to keep out the zombies. It isn't long before you have a solid wall. Set up shifts to watch the wall. Set up shifts to watch the wall. Each of you is assigned a small area to watch and keep an eye out for zombies, but you get lucky and only have to rotate between 3 areas for the first few days. Let's spend my free time organizing a Spend your free time organizing a farm. After a few weeks, you create a nice little farm with chickens, a garden, and a few cows for milk. Over the following months, you keep the town safe and organize the food situation in the farm. Since the town is safe, I choose to venture out in search of more survivors and supplies. Over the next few months, you can continue to gather any survivors you find, and gather more survivors in other places around the area. As time passes, you notice that the food in town is getting a little low. Search the nearby towns for canned goods or food seeds. After scouring several towns, you come back with a giant bag of seeds and a few canned goods. Place the canned goods in the stockpile. And use the giant bag of seeds to grow more crops. Hopefully this doesn't go too terribly. Over the next few months, you plant the seeds you gathered and watch them grow into small crops. However, you realize the crops aren't growing as well as they could. Investigate why crops not growing as well as they could. You investigate why the crops are not growing as well as they could. It turns out the seeds you harvested didn't grow as well as the rest due to rot. Search for the reason why these seeds were had rot. You examine all the seeds and are surprised to find out that all of them have a little bit of rot in them. You wonder how that is possible, as your own garden isn't doing too well. Possibly the seeds were just a little bit old. Let's see. Search the survivors for a scientist. I'm gonna create a free account to continue. But how? Well, this was not what I was expecting. Is there a login here? How to log in? If I just paste this again, will it? Oh. How? How do I log in? So we lost that one. There we go, log in. We're just gonna log into study, get 3 months free. Read the information about the study included above. This week. For 2 weeks. Sadness. Just hit play. Multiplayer. Let's just go with a quick start again and try it out. Cyberpunk. We are going to be punk. Scrabble. Hopefully now that we've logged in, we will actually get to continue to play. Not sadness. You are Scramble, a punk living in the futuristic city of Zeo. You have a small X-Or blaster hidden in your jacket and a hollow band on your waist. You wake up in a dark alley with bruises all over your body. You have no idea what happened. You stand up and see a man wearing a dark mask. He points a gun at you. Tell me who is in charge of this operation. Tell me, and I'll make sure your death goes unpunished. He screams. Well, watch as my friend ambushes. What is this? A man in a dark mask from behind. Your friend, Giral, a teenage girl dressed in a hooded black cloak, comes from around the corner with a heavy metal pipe. Distract the dark masked man while Giral knocks him out. As you move towards the man in a mask, you see a few men in dark cloaks running towards the entrance of the alley. Let's try that again. You scream at the dark mask, and well, Gerald knocks him out. Gerald. You try and scream, but as soon as Gerald runs at him, he knocks her out cold. She falls to the ground unconscious. You scream for help, but there is no one to hear you except for some stray alley cats. Oh. Let's try. Use the small X-Or blaster. Shoot the man. Well, he is busy with. Let's. Try and scream, but as soon as Jira runs at him, he knocks it. Falls to the ground unconscious. You scream for help, but no one. But there is no one to hear you except stray alley cats. The man, while he is busy fighting the brow, use the small. The shots blast the man in the mask in the chest and he falls to the ground wounded. The masked man turns around and points his gun at you. Dive for... I should say I dive. The masked man pulls the trigger, but the gun doesn't work. He lets out a burst of laughter. Ha ha ha. You really thought that would work, you pathetic little rump. It doesn't work, though. Well, let's try... Rush to Jiral's aid. Dash over to your unconscious friend and find a strange metal shard sticking out of her temple. The wound is bleeding and you don't know how to stop it. Well, leave the masked men behind. Take Jiral to the nearest. What's it called? Nearest a surgeon. Jiral opens her eyes and groans. Feeling better, you ask? Yeah, I think so. Jiral stands up. Nice mask, thanks. Not quite what was going on there. Let's try again. While you wait for the police to arrive. No, still not it. Let's try again. You have no idea where you are, so you follow a trail of blood leading out of the alley to the next street. On the sidewalk, you find a young man dressed in a business suit. Ask him to help with Jiral's wound. Let's try prompt. Jiral, my friend, is wounded by metal in her. Maybe that'll do something? The man you see is carrying a first aid kit. He takes a tourniquet, a bandage, and some antiseptic. Here, let me help you. Thank him for his help and rush back to the alleyway for the masked man. Rush back to the alley. The man has removed his mask. He's bleeding in several places, but it's clear he'll live. He pulls a small metal box from his pocket, opens it. Snap the metal box from the unmasked man and ask him for his name. I am Scramble, he says, but you can call me Scrap. How dare you call yourself by my name? I asked you for yours. I will not accept anything else. Oh no. Uh, um, undo. That went absolutely terribly. I ask, I say, I asked you for your name, not my. Now, tell me what it is before I make it so you can never say your name again. Okay, Scramble, he says, but you can call me Scram. I prefer Scram. Scram? Oh, that wasn't a stut. Okay. Okay, Scramble, he says, but you can call me Scram. I prefer Scram. Whatever. Okay, so I'm calling him Scram. Okay. I ask him, why do you have the same name as, or have such a similar name to mine? He says, my old name is actually Scram, but I wanted a new identity, a new name. I used a computer to generate a new one, but it's almost identical to the old one. Well, execute Scram and leave to rejoin Giral. You find your friend unconscious on the ground, you check her pulse, and find that she is still breathing. You decide to leave her there to sleep it off. Okay, apparently people just rest in the streets around here. You know, cyberpunk, that does actually happen. Well, open the box I took from Scram. You open the metal box and find a small disk. You insert the disk in a slot in your computer, and a hollow image of the contents of the metal box appear on the screen. I think I opened it up for there to be a disk. I put the disk in the computer, which showed the disk. Read what are in the contents of the metal box. You read what are in the contents of the metal box. The disc contains blueprints for every single weapon made by the Zale City arms industry. Well, there's only one thing to do. Fire up my 3D printer and begin to manufacture. Well, I should check for a list of this stuff, or at least search for the most advanced weapon blueprint on the list. The name of the weapon you're looking for is the Haru Direct. It is a long-range homing anti-personnel weapon equipped with an anti-tank mode. Okay. I just hit enter. Does it continue saying what it's saying? Or is this going to crash it? The name of the designer is the same as the name of the weapon itself. You find several different designs of the Haru Direct. I want to see what happens if we just keep looking into it. You choose the most advanced one. Use the most advanced version. Create the most advanced version of the Haru Direct blueprints to create my own. You create the most advanced version of the. You download the design files and then print out the blueprints. You take the hollow images of the metal box and blueprints, take them to the nearby printer. Alright, let's keep it going. The printer spits out several stacks of paper. Not the kind of printer that I wanted to use, but you know what? Oh. Oh, you can change with stuff here. This would have been useful to me. Let's keep going. Begin construction on the blueprint on a working model from the blueprint. You spend several days at your lab working on the design. Print out several parts and assemble them into a weapon. When the final print is done, you test it. Keep going. You can see the blue laser beam coming from the tip of the spear like a tiny laser sword. You take it back to the alleyway where you found Jarl. Ural. Does this have an anti-tank? Well, I'm just gonna let the text keep going because I want to see whether or not Ural is still there. She's still asleep. Oh, it's been several days. I think she might be dead. Oh, we can remove this prompt. Hmm. Uh. Say, I will take revenge for you. That should allow you to rest peacefully. Avenge? Avenge is property. You walk to the edge of the alleyway and look at the street. You see an armored truck parked across the road. Two men are standing near it, arguing with each other. Hey, do you work for the Zale City arms industry? The men look up at you, startled. They're wearing dark blue suits, like the men who killed Jarl. Yes, one of them says. How can we help you? I point my Haru direct at them in the anti-tank mode. And fire with intent to kill. Your attack hits both the men in the chest, and then claps backwards and falls to the ground, a small blue laser beam through the air where the men fell. Well, search the men and their... You search the men in their van. You find a small box. You open it and find a communicator. You take the communicator and see it's broken. Return to my lab and fix the communicator. You press several buttons and the communicator comes to life. It has a small screen and tiny buttons. You type in a code and the screen lights up. It's a message from Yarl. Oh, keep going. What did you do? She asks. I fixed the communicator. Now we can talk. Oh, it speaks with the dead. Not what I was expecting this to go. We... Well, you are kind dead now. And, well... I was fixing this, I realized it can communicate with the dead. What do you mean? Listen to this. You press a key, and you're right. Who says it can't? I guess you're right. Well, I guess you could stay dead. That's not a very nice thing to say to a corpse. You know what? It's more understandable than the last part. Make sure we've got the prompt turned in. Okay. Well, either way, I am going to get revenge for you against the Zale City Arms Industry. Any requests? I'd like a box of chocolates, Yarrow replies. Anything else? Yeah, get me a case of beer. Will do. Once the job is done, of course. I'll talk to you once it's over. Have to go now. Goodbye. He then closes the communicator and put it into the box. And put the box into the van. You begin to drive the van back to your warehouse. I now have a warehouse too. Can I edit this? To the Zale City Arms Industry Warehouse. There we go. Okay. Prepare the... Where is it? Haru direct in anti-tank mode and prepare to fire on the warehouse. That's not quite what I meant to do. Boy. You know what? We're leaving it here. This is going pretty well. Instead of say, this should be on do. You drive into the parking lot and park next to the armored truck. You take up a firing position and line the Harry direct with the front of the warehouse. The guards take up positions at the front and sides of the warehouse. You press the button that starts the Harry direct and launch the spear out of the van. I'll keep going. The spear is launched at the warehouse. It penetrates the first row of the warehouse and begins firing the laser beam at the warehouse's interior. The warehouse begins to explode, and the spear breaks the first floor of the warehouse. You can see the laser sword's blue laser fire upon the second floor of the warehouse. Our direct mode is now finished. I cast aside the weapon and begin marching towards short hump. You see a squad of Zale City guards marching towards you. They open fire upon you. You dive into the ground. Well, apparently I tunnel as well. Tunnel through the ground to ambush the guards. I don't know where this went, but it's gone somewhere. Dig through the ground to where you buried a landmine. Must have done this years ago. You set it off and killed 2 of the guards. You then dig in the ground where another landmine is buried. Well, I've buried an entire landmine, or an entire minefield under these guys. Kill the 3rd guard, 2 guards remain. They begin to regroup and you plan your next move. They see you approaching the location of the next mine. Throw a rock at the mine. Or landmine. Not yet. Let's turn that into one word. You hear a loud explosion and see a column of earth and rubble shooting towards the sky. Use the distraction to run away. You run towards home to where your friends are staying. You see that you made it. We thought you were dead, your friend says. Well, Jiro, sad to say, I am not dead like you just yet. But when the time comes, I'm sure you will know. That and you've escaped the Zale City Guards. Well, it's time to finish your story. How did you do? Did pretty well, all things considered. Perhaps I might even come back again in the future. Now, for now though, thanks for being an excellent idiot. I do, but you wish you could play some more games. I do, but I must go now. Sleep well, little AI generator, and so to shall. And that is that. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. This has been a rather interesting experience. I'm not sure if I'll come back again, but you know what? If it's asked for, I wouldn't mind it. Thank you, everyone who came. I know that I saw at least one person popping up in the viewers. And anyone who's actually watched till the end on YouTube, hello and goodbye. It's a pleasure having you here. Feel free to show up on the stream if you see me streaming someday, or, well, if you liked it. And consider liking, subscribing. If you happen to be on Twitch, following. But for now, I must go to bed. It's 12:30. Almost 40. It's been nice knowing you all. Good night.